Good afternoon, Sue again here today, and I hope you've had a wonderful day so far. Today I'm going to talk about our outward destructive behaviours. Now this could be things like punching, hitting, throwing, slamming doors, any of the revenge actions. It could be bullying actions in the workplace, even in our homes. It could be yelling in conflict when we're trying to make our point across. It could be in actions like, or behaviours like anorexia, bulimia, and one of the most destructive that I sort of think is gossiping, talking negative about someone. Now, why am I sort of talking about this? Well, I want you to get this statement quite ingrained in yourself, because any outward behaviour, destructive behaviour, is an expression of an inward threatened feeling. Now let me say that again. Any outward destructive behaviour is an expression of an inward threatened feeling. So when we are threatened, this inner feeling, we move into what we call our body's response of fight, flight, and freeze. And anger or any of these destructive behaviours is our body's fight response. And it will go into that fight response even when we perceive a threat, even if it's our own threatened emotions that we're doing. So what are these inward threatened emotions? Well, it could be things like embarrassment, guilt, hurt, grief. It could be feelings of being unloved, unwanted. It could be fear, that you fear something, and that expression comes out where we lash out, is because we feel fear or any of these inward emotions. Now, they may or may not feel good in the moment, and most likely not. But what happens is that some of these can last for a lifetime, where we perceive a threat on a certain action and it eats away at our souls. And some people live with this for years. It means that these issues, the issues of our inner emotion, is unresolved. And at moments, we may feel the injustice that we were dealt with, and with that injustice, we have our right to get revenge or to feel this way. But what you're doing is that if these are unresolved feelings, we end up living the majority of our lives being miserable, very unhappy, and sometimes to a point where life is just not worth living anymore. So my question to you today is, if you are struggling with this, do you want to be happy? You must let it go, because you hurt no one but yourself. The person who did the injustice probably doesn't even feel it. He or she doesn't even feel what you're dealing with. And in fact, they probably can't even remember the incident at all. And you are sitting here stewing and reliving this incident over and over again. So there is hope. I'm going to give you 3 ways to constructively handle this. So our first way is to deal with the immediate anger or the destructive behavior. So calm down, self-soothe, and just take deep breaths and relax. That just calms down those immediate destructive and puts us in a place of calmness where we can rationally, rationally solve these issues. Because when we're in high emotion, nothing gets done. Our reasoning goes out the window. So that's our first one, calm down. The second one is to acknowledge the expression. So acknowledge the hurt or the punching and throwing tantrums, bullying, all right? Not that you excuse it, but just acknowledge that you lashed out for a reason. But then explore the underlying reason why. What is the threatened feeling or emotion that you are experiencing? So when you can do that, our third thing is to solve the problem. So in order to solve the problem, sometimes we may just have to let it go. Right? Let it go. Not take things personally or anything like that. The second thing, which you kind of have to do, and it's probably the hardest thing that we can do, is to forgive. For forgiveness is an internal state of being. You need to forgive yourself and the person so that you can just let go of these negative feelings that were associated with the hurt action. Because we said the hurt action, the outward destructive behavior, is an expression on an inward threatened feeling. So by forgiveness, we means letting go of those negative feelings that are associated with that hurt action. So you sort of think, oh, how do you forgive? Well, forgiveness begins with a decision to forgive. Now, it might take more time before your heart fully accepts what your will has set in motion. And sometimes you just may have to keep repeating to yourself, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me. Maybe 100 times before your heart fully accepts what you want. So, you have control on how you react in any given situation. So before lashing out, take a moment to deep breathe and ask yourself, what emotion is being threatened? And then find a constructive solution. So, this is me signing out, and it's your life. Love it and live it. And until tomorrow, bye for now.